My name is Brian Cunningham, and I just got hired as the head coach of the Wichita Tech Flight. I'm a brand new coach with a brand new vision. No reputation, no safety net. Just one chance to build something real. Get ready to see it all, from post-game press conferences, in-home recruiting visits, team meetings, and player backstories. This isn't just your typical dynasty. Nah, this is Road to Glory, head coach edition. So fasten your seatbelts as we prepare for takeoff. Welcome to the flight. Alright, so to start the day off, I have a couple interviews set up with a few local news outlets and the school's media team. Now these normally don't last too long, they just want to be nosy and figure out anything they can about me and the team. So I'm about to go knock these interviews out real quick and then we can get on with our day.
Okay, so, everyone is so happy to have you here, and we really want to get to know you. So, maybe tell us a bit about your football background or something?
My father was in the military my entire childhood, so of course, that meant my family was constantly on the move. I've stayed in Texas, California, Kentucky, New Hampshire. I've basically lived all over the country, but the place I've always considered home is right here in Wichita, Kansas. Growing up in a strict military household, I learned a lot about discipline, respect, and attention to detail. And it's funny because a lot of those values I was taught as a kid are reflected in my coaching style today. I started playing football a lot later than most kids, and I definitely was less skilled, but that still didn't stop me from having a lot of success. I was able to win the Kansas Gatorade Player of the Year my junior and senior year, and I took my team to back-to-back state championships. Now, of course, after high school, I followed in my dad's footsteps and joined the military. I played and served there for 2 years before I transferred to LSU. I definitely did my thing at LSU. I'm sure you probably heard about the 12-0 season, and we won the SEC championship, but unfortunately, I got dismissed from the team due to some off-the-field issues right before the playoffs. But anyways, next I transferred to Maryland for my senior year, and I had a tremendous amount of success there as well. I was able to raise my draft stock that year, and I really showed scouts what I was capable of. Now, I ended up getting drafted in the second round of the draft, and I went on to play 5 seasons in the NFL before I suffered a career-ending injury. So yeah, at 26 years old, I found myself in a tough spot. The game I loved my entire life was suddenly gone, and if I'm being honest, I felt lost. Football has always given me a sense of purpose, and if I'm being real, it became a large part of my identity. It was a point in time that without football, I really didn't even know who I was. So yeah, that's when I realized I could still be a part of the game. I just had to change my role. So I went back to the one place that shaped me before football ever did, the Army. But this time I didn't return as a player, but as a coach. More specifically, I was the offensive coordinator for the Army football team. Yeah, man, it all felt full circle. The discipline, the structure, the attention to detail, like I mentioned before. Everything my father in the military had instilled in me as a kid had now become tools for my success as a coach. So yeah, I spent about 4.5 years in that offensive coordinator position, and honestly, I would say I played a key role in Army's resurgence in college football. So now that all my morning meetings and interviews are over, I can finally head over to my office and start some work. But look, my office is way on the other side of campus, so I figured while we walk over there, I could tell you how I ended up back here in Wichita and everything that went into me landing this job. The city of Wichita's population has been growing at a steady rate over the past 10 years. This growth has brought thousands of new jobs and businesses to the city and the surrounding areas. Well, with that momentum comes new demands. A larger population meant greater needs for education and local opportunity. Wichita was no longer just growing, it was evolving. Rather than send all that talent somewhere else, the city decided to invest in itself. Plans were approved, funding was secured, and the creation of Wichita Tech was underway. Now, at the time of the announcement, Sammy had just given birth to our son, and I was still getting settled into my role as an offensive coordinator for the Army. Things were going good, and honestly, I was proud of everything I had accomplished in my life, but I knew I still wanted more. Over the course of the next few years, I kept an eye on the progress of the school being built and any news about the athletic program. It was really quiet there for a moment, but as soon as the job opening was announced, I jumped right on it. Now, of course, Sammy and I had plenty of discussions about it. Moving from New York to Kansas is a huge change within itself. Not to mention we'd be leaving behind everything that we had built over the past few years. Well, in the end, Sammy was all for it. She gave me the okay to go ahead and apply for the head coaching position. For the next few weeks, I was back and forth from New York to Kansas for in-person interviews. I swear, I've never flown that much in my life. I felt like I was on the plane more than I was at home. The interview process was strenuous. I had to give several different presentations about my experience, my coaching ideology, and my goals for the team. Not only that, but the incident I had in college kept coming up, so of course I had to explain that several times as well. But I understood all their concerns because not only would I be a first-time head coach, I'm still also extremely young. In the end, it came down to me and one other candidate, and obviously I got the job. I'll never forget I was at home mowing the lawn when they called and told me. The next day, Sammy and I jumped on a private jet the team sent out, headed to the university for my new hire press conference. I finally made it back to my office, and quite honestly, this place has become like a second home for me. There's been nights I ended up not even going home and falling asleep right there on the couch. Now, of course, I imagine the more success I have, the bigger my office will become, but for right now, this is what I'm working with. I had Sammy come through and decorate the place, and I think she did a pretty good job. Anyways, everyone knows the most important part of building a successful program is recruiting. Schemes can be drawn up, playbooks can be adjusted, culture can be preached in every team meeting, but none of that matters if the talent isn't there. And at a brand new program like this, talent just doesn't show up because you exist. You have to convince these kids to believe in something that hasn't even been proven yet, and well, I found out the hard way that that's easier said than done. Hey Tyrone, this is Coach Brian Cunningham with Wichita Tech University. And listen, I just came across your highlight tape on Huddle and I was blown away. What would it take to get you down to Kansas for an official visit? Tyrone? I realized quick that I needed to change my approach. These new 5-star athletes are divas, and they know with NIL now being the thing, they're in charge. I figured if I was gonna land the top recruit, I would have to go get them from their front door. And well, yeah, that didn't work out either. After getting beat up and robbed by the GDs on my Chicago recruiting trip, I came to the conclusion that at least for this first year, I can't recruit any 5-star players. They're just simply not interested in playing for my program. So that meant I needed to tap into the local talent. That meant shaking hands with high school coaches who felt overlooked. That meant finding 2-star linemen who were still hungry, 3-star corners who were told they were too small and now they got a chip on their shoulder, and quarterbacks who nobody believed in. Me and my staff got on the road and hit almost every single high school in the state of Kansas. Heights, Southeast, Bishop Carroll, Olathe, Topeka, you name it, we were probably there. And to my surprise, the local kids were excited to see us. As a matter of fact, they were wondering what took us so long. We were able to land commitments from several top prospects in the state. For starters, my guy KB, Kyle Baker. He's a 3-star freshman quarterback with a lot of potential. I recruited him directly, and honestly, he's who I'm looking to build the program around. Now, we do have another junior quarterback who's very good as well, so we may have a quarterback competition on our hands, but we'll get into that a little later. Then we got another 3-star freshman running back, Wesley Teague. He actually reached out to us when I first got to the program, but of course at the time, I was focused on trying to land 5-stars from outside the state. But luckily, he was still available once I got my head on straight. Jaden Bowie, lockdown freshman cornerback, here with us as well. Now, my defensive coordinator was able to secure his commitment, and I believe he's gonna make a lot of plays for us this year. He's extremely athletic with a lot of potential, but we just gotta make sure he keeps his head on straight. Yeah, man, we're gonna get into him a little later, but this guy is a loose cannon. So right now, I'm just taking a little bit of time to look over our program grades. Now, these grades are very important because this is what all the recruits see each time we reach out to them. Now, of course, since we're a new program, some of our grades are pretty low, but as we start to win and, make more progress, they'll start to improve. Now, championship contender, they have us rated at a D+. That's expected. Program tradition, we are just opening, so it's at a C-. Now, campus lifestyle, that is at an A+. And what can I say? Wichita, Kansas, it's a beautiful place, man. Now, pro potential, that's very important. We got to work to get that grade up immediately because, what athlete doesn't want to go pro? Brand exposure, we're currently at a C+. Right now, we have a lot of local sponsorship opportunities for our athletes. Academic prestige, we're currently at a B. And athletic facilities, we're at an A+, of course, because everything here is brand new. So I know you want to see what our current roster looks like, but I'm going to wait until after the spring game to show you because I know several players are probably going to jump into the transfer portal. But those 3 freshman players and a few others are who I'm looking to be the cornerstone of this program. I figured if we can build around them, we'll be in pretty good shape. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the spring game. So we are here at the spring game, and as you guys can see, it is a completely sold out crowd. Our fans have shown up and shown out. I definitely appreciate it, especially being that we are a brand new program. All that support definitely matters. Now, of course, this is just a spring game, so it does not count, but it does count because there is a lot going on behind the scenes. We have a quarterback battle and a running back battle. So on the field right now, we have our upperclassmen. We got quarterback Tyler Olsen. He is a senior. And we also have our running back Spencer Strickland. Now, seniority rules, so basically our upperclassmen are going to, Spencer Strickland striking early with the first touchdown in Wichita Tech history, bro. Wow, man, you just love to see it. Look at the fans, look at the stadium, look at the atmosphere. This has to be a sign of good things to come. All right, guys, as I was trying to say before the Spencer Strickland touchdown, seniority rules, so our upperclassmen are actually going to get 2 quarters, the first and second quarter. Of course, the score does not matter, but they're going to get 2 quarters to go out here and show what they can do, basically fight for their spot. And then the third and fourth quarter, that will actually go to our freshmen running back and quarterback. Now, our defense is pretty solid. It's pretty set. So I'm not really too concerned about that. So we're just going to play on the offensive side this game. But, of course, later in the season, we'll play both sides of the ball. Giving it to Spencer Hey, man, listen. Our freshman our freshman running back, Wesley Teague, is going to have a lot on his hands. Spencer Strickland is showing out today. That's his second touchdown. Our offense is looking smooth as butter. Come on, bro. Huge strike over the top by Tyler Olsen. I really like what I'm seeing so far with this offense. Everything is running smooth. Spencer Strickland up the middle. He's on fire. Let me see if they can actually score on this drive. We got all goals right here. Clean pocket, taking a shot down the field. Oh, bro. I know it's too early to call it, but I don't know what else could be done to top this performance we're seeing in this first half. All right, so our upperclassmen went out there and did their thing, but now it's time to see what our freshman class can do. Of course, we got quarterback Kyle Baker in there, and then we got halfback Wesley Teague in the backfield. Now, you may notice that the screen is shaking. That's because of the stadium noise. It wasn't doing that with the upperclassmen, but of course it's doing that with the freshmen because they're freshmen. This is their first game, their first time on this large stage. So there's a little bit of, a little bit of fear, a little bit of nervousness, but that's all good. It's all normal. But so far, so good, man. Let's see. We got the halfback screen of Wesley Teague here. Okay, everything's looking good. Good blocking up front, but he runs into a brick wall. Big third down here. What's Kyle going to do with it? Everything covered upfield, taking a shot. So this will be our first look at our senior kicker, Ian Wells, from about 18 yards out, and he's able to knock it straight down the middle. Out here on their second series, we got Kyle Baker in a quarterback, and of course Wesley Teague in that backfield. Again, this is the same offensive line. Everything is still the same. Good dart. Like I was saying, this is still the same offensive line and everything that our upperclassmen got. So it should be a pretty even matchup. Keeping it on the ground to Wesley. Good game, picking up the first. I also want to go ahead and acknowledge senior left tackle Blake Sutton Jr. Now, I'm hoping he stays with us after the transfer portal. If not, we might be in some trouble, but either way, we got a lot of recruiting to do this offseason. 3rd and 4, taking a shot over the middle, not able to come down with it. Actually, this is 3rd and 4, and this is also the second time they found the red zone. I want to see if Kyle's able to find the end zone here. Holding on to it too long. We got our senior kicker, Ian Wells, back out here. Right down the middle. Okay, like I said, I think our special teams might be good, man. I think we might be set. Here we go, another series for our freshmen. Keeping it on the ground to Wesley Teague, able to pick up a few. 2nd and 8. Looks like we might be taking a shot here. They send in a blitz up the middle. Okay, good read from Kyle. Good read from Kyle. Okay. If you guys cannot tell, I really want to see my freshmen win. These are guys that I personally recruited. These are hometown kids. I really want to see them have a lot of success on this team, man. They kind of got a special place in my heart, if you will. Kyle with the check down. Good read. Let's go. 1st and 10. Right inside that red zone again. Keeping it on the ground to Wesley. Able to pick up a few. Okay, let's see. I like what I'm seeing. We got 3rd and 6 right here. Can they find the end zone? Can my freshmen find the end zone? Kyle holding on to it. Taking a shot. You got to come down with that. So yet another trip to the red zone, and our freshmen will walk away without a touchdown. Now, of course, that pass should have been caught, but as a quarterback, you got to kind of take responsibility for everything. So we're back out here with our freshmen. Kyle taking a shot down the field. Good placement. Got to hang on to it. So obviously, guys, we got a lot of recruiting to do, especially at our receiver position. Kyle taking a shot again into double coverage. That was not the best read, and unfortunately, that's actually going to be the last offensive series for our freshmen, the end of our spring game, and I think it's kind of clear who the starters will be going into this season. All right, so now that the spring game is over and the transfer portal has closed, we can get a pretty good look at what our offense is going to look like going into the season. Now, overall, they got us ranked to 57, bro. 57 overall as a team, 59 on our offense and 56 on our defense. Now, based on the spring game, our starter going into the season will be senior quarterback Tyler Olsen. As you guys can see, I have Kyle Baker currently redshirted, but I'm not sure if that's going to stick. You guys might see a conversation with him next episode. Anyways, switching over to our halfback again, based on the spring game, man, we got our junior Spencer Strickland. He's actually going to be starting going into the season. Wesley Teague is there as well, but I think we definitely going to kind of go maybe like a two-man backfield. That way we can get our boy Teague a few reps as well. Now, taking a look at our receivers, we got senior Demetrius Williamson, who's a funny looking fella if I do say so myself. He's actually our top wideout. He's sitting at a 77 overall, and he has an 84 catching, 90 acceleration, and an 87 speed. Now, under him, we got Javion Foreman. He's a junior, same exact speed, but overall, there's a huge drop, and it only gets worse from there, man. 66, 66, 63. So, yeah, man, not looking too good. Jumping over to our tight ends, it gets even worse. We got Scott McLawler at a 69, Alex 65. It's just all bad right now. So we got a lot of work to do, guys. Just bear with me, man. Like I said, we are building a powerhouse, and a powerhouse doesn't get built overnight. Now, on a bright note, we got Kalen Franklin, our right tackle. He's actually only a junior. He's sitting at a 76 overall. So, like I said, that's one bright note that we can speak on. Jumping over to our left guard, we got DeMarcus Perkins. He's sitting at a 75 overall. So things are looking pretty good up front. Let's see what our center. We got Jalen McDonald, 74 overall. Not bad at all. At right guard, we got my boy Max McClure. And then at right tackle, yes, my boy Blake Sutton. He actually did stay down with us from the spring game. Remember, he was our only impact player on our offense. Now, jumping over to our defense, I mean, it's just decent. You know what I'm saying? It's just decent. We got some guys with some potential, but either they're all super old, like damn near about to graduate next week, or they super trash. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, we got a lot to work on. Looking at my boy Tajay Coles, he is actually an impact player over on our defense. He has an 83 speed, 87 acceleration, so that's pretty damn good. And then at our Mike linebacker, we got my boy Chase Freeman. He is a senior, but he's sitting at a 78 overall, 81 speed, 87 acceleration, 76 agility. Not bad at all. Now at cornerback number 1, of course, we have my boy Jaden Bowie, but under him, we got Noah Collins. He's actually a 71 overall with the 88 speed and the 92 acceleration. So yeah, I definitely think we're gonna have a pretty good year at that cornerback position. Jumping over to free safety, we got Nico Solomon. He is 72 overall, pretty average, you know, pretty decent speed, nothing too crazy. And then we got our strong safety, Alexander Valentine, 68 overall. The season kickoff is right around the corner, so there's not much time left, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. On the next episode, we'll be having some tough conversations with a few players about redshirting, setting up our recruiting board, and kicking off the first ever season here at Wichita Tech. There's a lot to be excited for, so if you haven't already, go ahead and smack that subscribe button and make sure to turn on your post notifications. That way you don't miss an episode. Now, Sammy made hot dogs and green bean casserole, so I'm about to go ahead and leave so I still have time to swing by Chick-fil-A. I'll see y'all boys on the next one.